My dear esteemed subscribers, my viewers, welcome back to the Magnificat Family Channel. Thank you for liking this channel, thank you for subscribing, thank you for your comments. Please, I ask for more. Welcome to this new video. It is the second part I promised you in the previous video when I went to the exhibition of the Uganda matters. In this video, I'm going to give you a transition of faith from the African traditional faith to the Christian faith. But I will concentrate on the Catholic faith, that transition from the African beliefs to the time of Christianity, to the time of the Uganda matters, and the canonization process of the Uganda matters, and the canonization event of the Uganda matters in Rome. Don't miss any part, because they are important events, they are important things that you're going to see and you're going to hear. Pay attention to the personalities or the figures you're going to see in this video. You're going to see Father Simeon Ludeo Mapera, you're going to see Cardinal Lavigeri, you're going to see Bishop Stretcher, or Sitensera, as we call him here. You're going to see Kabaka Mwanga, you're going to see Bishop Chwanka, you're going to see Pope Benedict the 15th, you're going to see Pope Paul the 60th, you're going to see Pope John the 23rd, and many more as the video will go on.
So this is a serious transition of faith. From traditional way of worship, the Arabs have come in, they've done their part. The Anglicans, for instance, John Roscoe is evangelizing also, is doing his part. Now the influence of the Arabs is here. They are covering the heads plus the council. This is the great influence of the Arabs. Now, and when you are in the influence of the Arabs, meaning you are in the influence of Islam. We have another group here of faith, kind of faith. Now, we have what we call diviners, or the fortune tellers. Fortune tellers or diviners, these are people who kind of like prophesy what's happened ahead of you after explaining what you're going through, or what you're experiencing. So they could use these cards here in a way that you have said you dream while driving a car and you are carrying the grass in that car, plus a bull, I don't know, whatever you dream. Then you go to the diviner or the fortune teller. They throw these cards in the air, when it lands down, based on how it is facing, they interpret for you. Yes, there's nothing, there's no problem. For you just chill. There's nothing to worry about. Or they tell you, my friend, you see this guy? There's danger ahead of you. So be careful. Be prepared for war ahead. Also here. Then when, as you said, when Mutesa wrote a letter to England inviting the missionaries to come and evangelize. So our Christianity began from the palace. That's why we have the palace here. That's the effectiveness of this.
You can't talk about Christianity, but that's talking about.
Oh, now the African drum came in as a symbol of Christianity, and it was used now to call catechumens for catechism, calling them like this.
So this drum was used by the first catechumens in 1880s, and the catechism began in 1881. So they could go for, when they are going for divine office, you know divine office? What is it?
The prayers, morning prayers.
Thank you. That is the thing. Divine office or evening prayers, they got sometimes called the Vespers or Compline. So they could use this drum in the boxes. So when you talk of catechumens, do you get me?
Abalonde, Bijiji.
Yes, that is the thing. So it was used by those people, the first catechumens. So in the first catechism that time, in 1980s in the palace, where Father Lordell, Simeon, and Brother Aman's Delmas.
The photograph.
Yes, exactly, in Tanzania. This is Father Leon Leeuwenhoek. He was in Tanzania plus Father Ludovic. Then Tanzania, as we have said, they rescued this team here as the US initially was being taken by the Arab slave traders, then they were ransomed. Ransom meaning you paid something. When you pay some money, you get back what belongs to you. So they paid, they ransomed this group here, then, and out of whom we have the martyrs here. Some of them are martyrs here. We have this. I mean, the alphabet. They taught us alphabet. A, B, C, D. You know that song?
A, B, C, D, E, F, G.
H. So it's what is being taught here. So the missionaries taught our people, our forefathers, that story. Until I can grasp the catechism class. Catechism was becoming head for them. So they had to teach them now that after teaching them that, they taught these prayers here. The Lord's Prayer, the Hail Mary, and the Creed. I believe in God the Father Almighty. Do you know the creed? You remember creed?
Yes.
You remember we have two creeds in church. We have the Lutheran creed and the Apostles' creed. Apostles' creed is shorter than the Lutheran creed.
This is King Mwanga.
Yes, this is Mwanga the man.
Okay.
The brain behind the execution. You see, he had somebody, as a king, he could send others to go and kill. For instance, around Kajanga.
Kajanga, yes.
What do you know about him?
He was a chief executioner.
Exactly. But you never hear him anywhere that he killed anybody. He didn't kill anybody. He's innocent. He's innocent.
But you
hear this. This is the man we hear that he killed the martyrs. He killed the people. He's the one who chose because he issued the orders. That's why for people who read the Bible, you will see in John chapter 1 that the word was with and God was the word itself. So the word was given power. So leading creation also, it echoes the creation, the Old Testament. The Garden of Eden. Let there be grass. Grass appears. Let there be this, it appears. Let there be man. And man appeared at last. Then God rested. He said, okay, I've done my best. What I've not created, it will never be created again. So the word has power. It was given power. That's why they always say, guard your tongue when you are talking. So this man, he used his tongue, the power of his tongue, the power of his words, for all this should take place. Mukajanga, his work was backed.
Bishop Stretch.
Yes.
Wow.
That's why he printed the list, 22 men of them to be beatified. So now started calling, saying, Matthias Mulumba the Blessed, pray for us. No, not you can't say saints, but they are Mulumba or Matthias or just one. Because they're not saints. So how we call them the Blessed. At first in 1912 they were called the Venerable. So 8 years later, 1920, they became blessed. So now, we have the Holocaust here. When you talk of Holocaust, do you get some idea? Well, ideally here we mean excessive or massive killing, serious massacre is what we are talking about here. So it's what we call the Holocaust. Now, this pic here is not the exact thing that happened at Namgogo, but it's just an image, a drawing depicting what happened at Namgogo. It's what is here. It was drawn in 1913 in Wiki. Then when we reached 86, so this was depicting what happened in 86, 3rd June. Because you know why we take 3rd June? As in Martyrs' Day. Yet other martyrs were killed in 1885. You see?
It's because most of them.
Yes, thank you very much. Majority were martyred on that day. So this is now the letter written by Father Lord Simeon. So Simeon writes to his superior general. You know, you know that the seasonal priests are not religious. You know that. Aha. So you tell us the reason.
They don't belong to any congregation.
And congregation, exactly. And also, they make promises to the bishop. They can promise obedience, they can promise chastity, or celibacy, like that, to the bishop. But for the religious, like Father Simeon del Mampera here, he makes vows. So he made vows of chastity, obedience, and poverty. In Algiers, North Africa, Algeria. So I had to write to him about what has happened here. His first converts have been martyred in 3rd June 1886. So what is being communicating here. That is the point, my dear audience. So let us go that side. Lyon Levenhack here to begin the process of beatification. And so Charles Levigeri has received the communication from the Pope. You know, bishops communicate to the Pope. Not easy to say, not have a say to the Pope. He asks, have you consulted your bishop? Before he sends it to you. So the bishop talks to the Pope, or the Archbishop talks to the Pope, then they hear from the Holy See. So Archbishop Levigeri here had heard from the Holy See. Now he's instructing this man, you are letting him to begin the process. As I said, he died along the way, then Sister Sarah took over. So here we have this banner here. This banner was erected in the Vatican in 1964, October 18. So it has the martyrs. And along with the tools, objects that were used to martyr them, plus their duties. For instance, we have this man here. He has this one. What do you think are these? Shakers. For music.
Then it's Sebugwao.
Then he has this. Fire. Meaning he was a clipper. But his work was, and he lies under the music department. That's cool. We have this man, he has this spear plus fire, plus a shake also here. So what does that mean when there is a shaker, spear, and fire? It echoes something in your mind. He was pierced, then burnt, but then before that, his duty was musician in the palace. Or as they were, no, they used to gather in the palace. They were staying in the palace as workers there. Then this one here, Mwagali, he had this spear plus this kind of rope here. So what do we think altogether? Remember, this Mwagali, he was pierced, then he did not die. Then they tied him on a tree till he met his last breath. 3 kinds of documents from the Pope. We have paper bulls.
What?
Paper bulls.
Pepper bulls.
Pepper.
Pepper.
Yes,
Or
paper
from
bulls.
Papa. Pepper bulls. Okay.
So we have the paper bulls, a constitution, apostolic constitution, and encyclicals.
Okay.
Paper bulls contain decrees like this.
That one is a decree.
Yes, the decree.
This is a decree of the canonization of the Uganda matters.
Don't they negotiate? Don't compromise? Don't they negotiate? Well, like a president, a dictator. So when the Pope dictates, you say yes, Holy Father. We don't say here with the revision. We need to revise this point he has mentioned here. So when the Pope Benedict the 15th decreed that canonization should take place, the beatification rather.
Okay.
We have to say, yes, Holy Father.
Yes, Holy Father.
Goodness, how so fast like that? We want to say, yes, Holy Father. And these paper bulls go to some whole church. Decrees, they go to the whole church. All Christians. Now we have also singlicals. For instance, Pope Francis, now the current, the first one, the first, has a singlical called Laudato Si. Laudato Si is about preserving nature, maintaining the greenery of the Mother Earth. He calls it the Mother Earth. So that is from a singlical. Then Apostolic Constitution also has documented birthday goes to bishops, popes, and cardinals and bishops.
Did you know we're going to end up with 2 Uganda martyrs canonized, St. Charles Lwanga and St. Matthias Mulumba? Do you know how we came up with the 22 Uganda martyrs? Thanks be to Bishop Kiwanuka, who advocated for the canonization of the entire 22 Uganda martyrs by tabling his argument as follows. He asked a question: who can choose a baptism of fire over a baptism of water? Which human being can allow to be killed freely, to be thrown into fire? They deserve canonization. And if you're not canonizing them, let's pack our bags and go back to Uganda. If you're not canonizing them, if you're not canonizing the 22 Uganda martyrs, if you're taking all the St. Charles Lwanga and Matthias Mulumba, we are carrying our bags, we are going back to Uganda. Thanks be to God that Rome accepted his request and his argument. Then he presented the 22 Uganda martyrs, as you can see more in the video.
There was some bit of concrete evidence about the two.
About Charles Lwanga?
Charles Lwanga and Matthias Mulumba. There's some bit of concrete evidence about it. Then also another point was that these other people were not yet baptized. Yes, that they were not yet baptized. And we were like, so how did they become martyrs? They were not baptized, they had not yet professed their faith. Then the gentleman, that man there,
Who?
Joseph Chwan. Egyptians. I told me that I will talk about it when we reach somewhere here. He posed a question. What is the better baptism is there than fire?
Bishop Kiwanuka gave a reason that they accept.
The question is, which other baptism is there than fire? You have chosen the water. Person who has strong faith, you say, better fire. You say fire. That faith is strong. Even me, I can't risk my life to go to die, my friend. I have a lot ahead of me. People will say like that. I have a lot ahead of me. I'm optimistic about my future. I need children. I need grandchildren. I can't die now. What on my head? I go back home. That's what people will suggest. But this young man became courageous and said, better, even fire is not a problem. Then it takes us now to a point. His conclusion. That either be no canonization or we canonize 22 of them. You either leave the two, the Charles Lwangas you mentioned, and Matthias Mulumba, you leave them, or you canonize the 22 of them. If you refuse, you go home back to Kampala. We chill out.
Okay.
That was the conclusion.
Okay.
Tribunal sat.
Hey.
The court.
This is the tribunal of the Uganda Martyrs canonization.
Yes.
Wow.
We said, okay.
Hey,
the man has
is this stretcher?
The names are here. Stretcher is not here.
It's not there.
Stretcher had gone.
Had
died
gone
long time
already.
ago. So they don't know what was happening. They will say in the Catholic Church. We say not even in the Catholic Church. The soul does not die. The soul is immortal. It's only the body that dies, but the soul remains. So it's only the soul that was. She's the one who presented that list then to
Bishop
the
Kiwanuka.
not to the Pope. Yes, Bishop Kiwanuka presented the list of the martyrs. the 22 men.
Do you know the Pope who declared the Uganda Matters venerable? Do you know the Pope who beatified the Uganda Matters? Do you know the Pope who canonized the Uganda Matters? Much more in this video.
Now, in 1912, Pope Pius X declared the matters venerable, to be respected beyond the respect they deserve. That's when he said we should call them venerable. Then this is Pope Benedict XV. Remember, the 16th just died. Pope Benedict
The
XVI.
16th died. Yeah.
Yes. Now, this is the predecessor.
Benedict the 15th.
Yes. 15th. He's the one who said, okay, let the matters be called blessed. So, at first, we used to pray like, Saint Velikudembe, no, not Saint Velikudembe, Velikudembe the Venerable.
Pray for us.
Now, when you reach it here in 1920, Velikudembe the Blessed, pray for us. From there, the curve moved down, it was going down. Of saying of how them become saints. So that they become blessed for too long. So now then this man here said, okay, let's take the course for them to be called saints at least. So let us move again. So he raised the calf. That is John the 23rd Pope. Meaning he was the 23rd Pope in the litany of the popes. So there are so many gentlemen who are called John. This is now Paul the sixth. He said, okay, we have gone a long way. You can imagine from 1886, that is 19th century. Now, when we reached the 20th century, this was 20th century, that's when they became saints. Can you imagine? After a century. So if you are holy, 6.
Did you know that women were not allowed to participate in worship? But it was on the canonization of the Uganda Matters that women were allowed to participate in liturgy. Be it religious women of God, be it ordinary women, lay women. It's on the canonization of the Uganda Matters that they were allowed to sing in the choir. And as you can see in the pictures, the choir was led by Chagambidwa, and women are there singing. Thanks be to God. Thanks be to God for the canonization event that women were also allowed to participate in the temple worship. Did you know that music instruments such as the African drums were allowed in worship only on the day of the canonization of the Uganda Matters? Did you know that our drums were first played in Rome, in the Vatican, on the day of the canonization of the Uganda Matters? I'm talking about these drums. These dances, and the drums only were allowed in church on the day of the canonization of the Uganda Matters.
Wow, this is interesting.
So, welcome to the Vatican.
Welcome to the Vatican.
We are in St. Peter's Basilica,
Okay.
the Vatican. We are in Rome. So, welcome.
Thank you.
As I said, this is the man. This is Bishop Joseph Chwanuka. Now,
Okay.
we need the list now. He defended, he played it. So, we didn't have his picture there just because that he was a bishop. We wanted. No. He played a very key role. He's intelligence.
Okay.
He's fighting Egyptians. But if you had just mediocres,
Hey.
we would just use the ChatGPT and send options who can't reason, would have got this matters would have become saints in time. Would have only 2 men. The rest would have gone silent, remaining in the dust Egyptians. So his intelligence is why we have him here.
What is this he's carrying? What is this?
At least
That is the list. That is a book.
This is a book of the
Yes,
list
the
of the
book,
Uganda
that book,
matters.
that paper was not just a
Okay.
paper. It's important paper. All bearing the name of a saint, my dear. So this is Pope Paul now, the sixth. The one who presented over the mass. Euchanization. So in the Catholic Church, we used to have rules, and we have rules that govern us. Even her home, she has rules. Though they're not written, they're there. Knocking at the door at 2 a.m. at night. She will not wake up or to and open. Not knowing who is that really. Unless she has constantly been waiting for somebody. The stranger is outside. So in the Catholic Church, we had the Vatican Council I. The first Vatican Council never allowed certain things in church to happen. We used to, you see, like in the Muslim faith, men sit this way in the front with the imam, women with kids behind there, and they put a curtain. Don't see what's happening in the front here. But in our Catholic Church, we didn't put a curtain. You just say, okay, women sit down there, men sit this way, like that. That is the Vatican Council I. Still on Vatican Council I, women like these ones here, they're not allowed to serve at the altar, things like taking part in liturgy, maybe ushering. You say, a man is going to sit there, men sit this way. Local musical instruments. It was prohibited to be used in church. They are not allowed. Xylophone like this, we're not allowed. It was prohibited to be used.
This is a xylophone.
Yes.
In the Vatican.
Yes, in the Vatican.
Okay.
Now, also the language. It was critical about the language. This language, these things of Chigambo cha Ruanga, those things, that is an abomination. What are you trying to bring about in the church? That one was not allowed completely. Now, thanks be to God, in 1962, Vatican Council II sat and agreed that, okay, we have people back in the villages there, we have put their substations. Outstations are there, but they do not know Latin. Even the priests we have here now, they might be able to speak Latin to deliver the message fluently or effectively in Latin. People know coming into church say Pax Vobiscum, say Nomis Patris Spiritus, say Amen, Pax Vobiscum.
1964?
Yes, October 18th of that month. These were the first women in history. To sing, to stand as women and their voices be heard. So because they had been allowed, now they had, in 62, they had allowed the women now to take part in the liturgy. Now when you talk about liturgy, we mean public status never changed. So long as you're a woman, you are not allowed to sing in the Vatican. But in 64, during the canonization, they sang. As you can see them, they are having hymn books here. Chakambidwa Joseph here, the brain behind all the music that was used in the Vatican. Perhaps you can hear the name. Perhaps he sang in Uganda. I don't think that this group here knew Latin. So at that time, Luganda was used. So Luganda was the first language actually to be used in the Vatican. He used to carry the Pope. No, the Pope is a holy man that restored you. He's a holy man. We used to carry him as if he's sick, as if he has malaria and so on. So, but now, when Pope John Paul I came to papacy, he said, no, I don't like it, put it down. But he was short, man. And you know, when you hear that the Pope is coming, you always see the crowd. You can't see you. So that to make a kind of like a wheelchair raised high enough for him to be using. From there, then the Pope Paul II, the Pope John Paul II, when he came to papacy, to the seat of St. Peter, he refused it also. Then they made for him the Pope Mobile. And that's how the Pope Mobile came about. So everything is historical in this program.